We're being told right now that he's been sentenced to 24 months in prison.
Andy.
24 months in prison. That sentence just coming down.
2 years, yes. We got that from Bob. Can you tell me again in my ear, please?
From
that
the
is from the U.S. Attorney's Office. Okay, so that is from the horse's mouth. 24 months in prison for the 71st governor of Virginia, Bob McDonnell, on corruption charges. Andy, that just came in.
Guys, that is shocking. That is extremely amazing that he is getting that sentence. That is even far below what the reduced sentencing guidelines were. It is obvious that the character witnesses that he brought in, the people that spoke on his behalf, the people that talked about his integrity, the people that talked about how this was an isolated event, although it went on for some period of time, that he reached out and that he did for charities, that he took his family on trips to do community work, like down in Hurricane Katrina, that he did this and that they worked hard, they said, that he was constantly doing things for other people. Even in the times of his own despair, he reached out to others, and this was a big part of the of what we heard today. And so this obviously played into what happened in the court. And of course, people are running out now, but we are reporting now 24-month sentence. That is amazing when you look at the totality of everything that happened. And during the pre-sentencing, right before Judge Spencer spoke about what his sentence would be, he talked about how Johnny Williams, who snaked his way into the governor's house, that this case was given full attention, that it was given everyone had the opportunity to get their side out, that the defense had more than ample time to put on everyone that they wanted to put on, and that the prosecution was able to rebut, that witnesses were called. And during all of this, Judge Spencer was also praising the jury, that the jurors, he said, were extremely dedicated and loyal to coming up with these, in finding him guilty on these indictments. There were 11 of them. Bob, can you come here real quick? This is Bob Holsworth, and you're a political analysis from, what do you think, 24 months?
Well, I think 24 months turns out to be on the low end of what the guidelines were. In fact, the judge reduced it considerably. The guidelines showed 6.5 years. The judge reduced it to 2. Judge Spencer gave a very eloquent presentation, which he suggested that he was giving Bob McDonnell credit for both his military service and for all the good things he had done for Virginia. But at the same time, he could not ignore the verdict of the jury. It seemed to me Judge Spencer gave an eloquent and very fair presentation today.
Are you surprised by this?
I think only surprised that I thought it might be 3 to 5 years. It's a little lower, but I think Judge Spencer was clearly moved by all the testimony about Bob McDonnell, both today and on all the letters that came in about him.
And at one time, Governor Wilder, who turned out to be a very positive witness for Bob McDonnell, was talking about how Johnny Williams got a sweetheart deal. And you and I were sitting there together, and we heard the crowd starting to applaud that, yes, Johnny Williams got a sweetheart deal, and that should be taken into account to giving Bob McDonnell some benefit of the doubt.
Governor Doug Wilder was the final character witness for Bob McDonnell today, and I think by far the most effective character witness. Everyone spoke very eloquently about Bob McDonnell. They spoke very, very well and very highly of him. But to have a former governor up there saying what Doug Wilder said today about how he felt, even though Bob McDonnell was from another party, he was a person of integrity, and how he felt that Bob McDonnell had suffered already considerably, plus bringing up Johnny Williams again was a very powerful statement.
And how about this one? He said, it is eating at him. I can tell. His color in his face has changed. He's like that mythical creature that has part of his liver eaten every day. Then what's left? He was still above the fray, and that he kept functioning. But this image that we saw, that it kept eating away at him, and that he was living with it.
Well, certainly, I think Judge Spencer took that into consideration, but at the same time, he said at the end of his comments, very often in this courtroom, I see good people who have done bad things. He says, and I struggle with this every sentencing. and that's the reason why I do have to impose some jail time on Bob McDonnell.
The way that Governor Bob McDonnell and those who are familiar with Bob McDonnell know that he is a very Christian man. We know that the judge is a very Christian man. The fact that he has done this community work, the stories that we're told about reaching out to people who are in a tough time when he's going through a tough time, that hit a chord with the judge.
I think the judge realized that Bob McDonnell had lived a life that was in many ways an inestimable life, even though he made these terrible misjudgments over the last couple of years. And then secondly, the judge said he was going to give Bob McDonnell some credit for his military service.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Dr. Holsworth, thank you very much. That's Dr. Holsworth. He is a very strong follower of politics, guys, but you just heard it. He was in the court with me, and he gave 2 years, that 2-year sentence. That is shocking, guys. That no one was expecting that when we came here this morning. Back to you.
Yeah.